Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a picks video for UFC Fight Night Andrade vs. Blanchfield, which takes place this Saturday. This is not the best of cards, but I will watch it anyways because I am a fight degenerate, and I will make picks on it because that's just the way she goes. And yeah, I hope that those flutes in the intro didn't sound too bad, so before we get into this, please, I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. We hit 100 yesterday, which is awesome. Thank you, all of you, very, very much. And I'm going to thank all of the new subscribers in advance. So thank you very much for your subscription. All right, let's get into it. First fight of the night, Clayton Carpenter versus Juan Camilo Ronderos. Okay, I picked Clayton Carpenter in this one. Clayton Carpenter's got a few head kick KOs on his record, and the guy that he is facing is almost legally dwarf. He's 5'3" with a 64.5-inch reach. Now that is, I mean, a very short reach. Not that Carpenter's got much of a reach on him, but he's 6-0. Some of his striking's a little sloppy. He throws some crazy hooks, but I think in his Contender Series fight, those sloppy hooks were just to try and get inside on the longer guy. He overextends sometimes as young in his career, though. Well, he's young in age and in his career. He's like, I think, 26, 27 years old. Has a 6-0 record. You know, he stands a little square, so he's susceptible to attacks up the middle. He's got decent leg kicks, and he also has a phenomenal chin. Ronderos, his last time out, got finished and also missed weight pretty badly at flyweight. And weight misses are kind of relative to what weight class you're in. If you weigh 125 and you weigh 2.5 pounds over, that's a bigger percentage point of your body weight than somebody who's missing by 2.5 pounds at middleweight. He missed, I think he weighed in 128.5 or something like that. I could see a head kick KO here for Carpenter, obviously. This guy is, he fought Dvorak his first time out, which is a tough first UFC fight, but, he rushes in with his head down, and he's already very low to the ground to begin with because he's 5'3". So there's also knees there available for Carpenter, especially because he has such a square stance. I don't think it would be too hard. Next fight, AJ Fletcher versus Themba Gorimbo. I picked AJ Fletcher here. Okay, he's about 25 years old. I don't know if his exact birthday. 5'10", 67-inch reach. So he's got a minus 3-inch ape index, and these are real T-Rex arms. Okay, Dominic Cruz was saying that Alexander Volkanovski had T-Rex arms when Volk's 5'6" with a 71.5-inch reach, which is actually a plus 5.5-inch ape index, which is wild. That's a huge reach considering he's 5'6". This guy's 5'10" with a 5'7" reach. He's got very short arms. As I said, 25, 24, very young. He looked good. He looked good in his Dana White Contender Series fight. He has beautifully timed takedowns. And honestly, he looked like he could be a lightweight. Like, he's a big boy. Or pardon me, not a big boy. He doesn't cut a lot of weight, it looks like. Dude, I don't know what I'm even saying here. My notes are all jumbled. I'm sorry. He had a savage KO in Dana White Contender Series. He's fast and explosive. He's on a 2-fight skid right now since the step up in competition. But just like the guy that we talked about in the last fight, dude, he had a very tough out for his first fight in the UFC. Matt Schammelsberger, who we just saw pretty recently beat Jake Matthews, which is, he was a big underdog in that fight and was not supposed to. So Schammelsberger showing us that he's improving and isn't just, bottom feeder or whatever. He's got, you can really see that on his record, he's got a different level of competition compared to these other guys. Like Gorimbo, dude, he's 32 years old, so he's technically in like his athletic prime, but kind of on the way out of it. And this is going to be his first fight in the UFC where, the guys he's been fighting up until this are not fantastic, and it's not like he's getting crazy highlight, finishes or anything like that. He's kind of just either skating by with a decision or he's getting a decision loss. Yeah, man. I think that AJ Fletcher is going to get this one done. He's younger. He's, younger, fresher, has fought better competition despite being younger, and has already dealt with that UFC stuff. This is going to be like Greenbow's last chance. Like, I'd reckon if he doesn't do good on this first contract, we probably won't see him back in the UFC. And that will be his last, hoorah. Big boy, but I don't think he gets it done here, so I want AJ Fletcher. Okay, now I don't know which fights first, but we're gonna go with Jamal Emmers and Kusin Askabov. And I'm going with Askabov, obviously, because his name's Askabov. And that's just that. No, Jamal Emmers, in all seriousness, he did pretty well against Giga Chikadze. Like, he went to a split decision loss and utilized takedowns and stuff like that. And then we've seen where Giga Chikadze's gone from there. So it's not like the worst loss in the world. It's actually, probably pretty good. But I don't think he's going to be able to get this one done. I think that this Askabov dude is legit. And, there's quite a bit of hype around him, as there usually is when guys' names end in OV and they're from Russia. So that's just what it is. Okay, we got a light heavyweight bout up next. Ovince St. Preux versus Philippe Lins. Dude, I hate Ovince St. Preux fights because... for picking them anyways. You never know which guy's going to show up. Because Ovince St. Preux sometimes can be incredible, or he can be god-awful. And we've seen him land, like, beautiful head kick KOs on guys like Corey Anderson. He's, obviously, most Von Flue chokes in I think it might not even just be UFC history. It might be MMA history. And he's just crafty, man. Like, it seems like he can find a way to win. Though this is when he's like on point. When he's not on point, you're kind of watching, being like, wait, this was the guy that gave John Jones a tough fight? Like, this was the guy who, like, it's very strange sometimes. He's a real coin flip in that sense. And but with that being said, dude, I'm not overly impressed with Felipe Lins' record and his fighting, and I could see it going to the ground. And Felipe Lins trying to mount some sort of submission offense and then, get Von Flue choked or something silly like that. I don't know. Just because it's St. Preux, man, you never know. It's just fun, and he's probably going to be an underdog because I haven't checked the odds, but I would imagine, man, his record as of late isn't great. Going to, it's just, man. I know Felipe Lins is probably going to be hungry for this victory, but I don't know, man. I'm going to pick Ovince St. Preux just for old time's sake. And after this, if he doesn't get her done, I'll probably never pick him again. I mean, we probably won't be seeing him fight for much longer anyways, and I don't think that he's so far gone that he can't, still get some decent wins. But it is what it is, dude. Nazim Sitakov versus Evan Elder. I'm going with Sitakov here. Young dude, 26, 5'10", 69-inch reach. He has beautiful spinning back kick right off the jump in the Dana White Contender Series that hurt his opponent early on. He has good damaging ground and pound, which I like to see. Split his opponent open almost immediately with some big shots. I believe it was an elbow. He's got decent head movement when they're on the feet. And he's also got pretty decent cardio from a guy considering his age and experience level over 3 rounds. He's, dude's a savage. His fight was, his Dana White Contender Series fight was savage. Nice body head combo to get the KO, which I love. Love me some good body head combos. And Evan Elder, I don't see this for Evan Elder, so, you know, it is what it is. Moving on, Lena Landsberg versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I would imagine this is like the easiest fight to pick, dude. Lena Landsberg is no bueno, you know, as her opponent's middle name says. Yeah, when I was looking at these ladies' records, I honestly thought, how in God's name are these women? I mean, Silva a little less so, but dude, Lena Landsberg's 10-7, and she's on a 3-fight skid, a loss, all decisions to Sarah McMahon, Pani Kianzad, and Carol Rosa. You know, she beat Macy Chasson, which I guess is kind of aging well, but I don't think that it would go that way for her now. It was a decision. She beat Tanya Evinger, which is like, okay, that's good. You beat up Lauren Murphy's mom, so good for you. Or maybe Lauren Murphy's sister. They both kind of got that like crackhead look. Obviously, you know, yeah. Aspen Ladd KO'd her. Jesus, dude. Chris Cyborg obviously TKO'd her. Jeez, you know. Yeah, I gotta go with Maria Bueno Silva here, and I would reckon that this is like the most set in stone. They could prove me wrong because it's women's MMA, but we will see. All right, Jim Miller versus Alexander Hernandez. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, I will never pick Alexander Hernandez until he gives me a reason to otherwise. Like, he has about 3.5 minutes to 5 minutes, depending on the pace. And the fight that that is just burned into my memory because it made me so happy was him getting schooled by Cowboy when he thought he was the shit, dude. Alex Hernandez thought he was like the new big deal around town, and he was gonna run shit and come in and fucking kick in the door and all you know, whatever, all that shit. And Cowboy went, okay. And took a pretty good beating first couple minutes, and then kind of found his rhythm. So thankfully, we know Alex Hernandez doesn't necessarily have the best power, because otherwise he should have been able to get Cowboy out of there. If you think about all the guys that, you know, finished Cowboy after that. And not only that, beat Cowboy after that, but Cowboy just schooled him, right? In the next round 2. Just found his rhythm, and nope, not today, son. And dude, Jim Miller's still doing it, man. Jim Miller ain't like super sliding. Like, I think he's probably still got a few good fights left in him. He looks good, man. I think Jim Miller, I could be mistaken, but I think he's one of those guys that lost a lot of his career due to like Lyme disease shit. But and now he looks better. He looks like in better physical condition than he did, you know, 5 years ago or whatever. But I would imagine Jim Miller's an underdog pick here too, but I don't know. I could just see Jim Miller weathering the storm for a bit. Hernandez doesn't have the best striking, and like, he relies a lot on his explosivity and whatnot. So I could see Jim Miller weathering the storm, and then maybe getting a submission round 2 or round 3. I don't know. One can hope, I guess. I really don't like Alexander Hernandez. But moving on, William Knight versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm going with Prachnio because he's Polish. He's got the legendary Polish power. He's, yeah. This is it is a pick'em fight, dude. They've got the odds, at least on the UFC's page, -105 for Marcin Prachnio and -115 for William Knight. I just think that technically Marcin Prachnio is a bit better, and William Knight, he's got to find the chin, and I don't know that he will. And dude, I could be mistaken. Maybe it's another white big guy that's fighting on this card. My notes kind of sucked for this because I was a little uninterested in this card, man. It's just not the best card. And I get that there's some good guys on there, and it's not fair that I mean, that's why I'm doing the video. If I really didn't care, I wouldn't be doing it at all. Yeah, it's definitely no. It's not a different guy. It is this guy. He had a very good career in ONE FC. You know, so the level of competition he's fought is very good. He's coming off a loss to Philippe Lens. Oh no. He beat Khalil Roundtree Jr., which is a pretty good win. And you know, dude. I'm just gonna go with him to not get hit by the chin and probably finish William Knight. Moving on, Josh Parisian versus Jamal Pogues. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know how you say his name. But I'm gonna go with Josh Parisian. I don't know. Because Jamal Pogues' record looked horrible to me. And watching him fight, he didn't seem very squared away to me. And he's on a 1-fight win streak. That's fantastic. He's a very young guy, though. So it's a weird one, man, because he looks like the kind of... He don't look that young, dude. He's younger than me. 95. He's 27 years old. 28, I guess, this year. The Stormtrooper. That's a strange nickname for a black guy to have. I'll tell you what. I can't remember why I picked Josh Parisian here, but I know I've got good reasons because I did do it. So I wouldn't have just done it for shits and giggles, okay? Wait, I missed a fight, dude. Where's that big fat dude that used to fight at heavyweight who's not fighting at heavyweight anymore? I know I missed a fight. I did. Jordan Wright versus Zach Pauga. Okay. This is a weird one because on the UFC's website it says it's a middleweight fight. Zach Pauga has a loss at heavyweight against Muhammad the Prophet, blessed be upon, fucking peace be upon him, or whatever the fuck they say. No, just kidding. But Kamaru's brother, Muhammad the Prophet, may peace be upon him, for the DDRs there. But that's a big, all of a sudden you're fighting at middleweight. Like I didn't pay attention to that season of The Ultimate Fighter because it sucked. Like it just did. And I'll watch this next season. Thankfully they're finally stepping it up. But Zach, I could see him getting a KO here. Jordan Wright is just Jordan Wright, dude. He looks like he should be a good fighter. He looks young and in shape, and I mean, they all are. But I'm just speaking generally here. Okay, chill out. He's also very smart when you hear him talk, but he doesn't seem very smart when he fights. So I don't know, man. I think Zach Pauga's going to get Pauga. Probably going to get a KO here. He's a huge favorite, too. So this isn't like some crazy pick. I'm feeling tired this morning. Don't have a lot of energy to do this video. I'm not overly excited about it. So we're going to move on to the main event. Thankfully, I'm getting it done pretty quick, dude. Usually it's like 35, 40 minutes for these picks videos. This was a shorter card as well, though. So let's be thankful for that. Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield. Now, I don't know. Is it just me, dude, or is Erin Blanchfield like a smoke show? Obviously not when they step in the octagon because they all have their hair like tightly done back and no makeup on and Vaseline and all that shit. But, dude, some of the pictures of her online, I'm like, God damn, dude, really? And typically, it don't go well for hot girls in the fights. I'm gonna sneeze, dude. No, I'm not. I think that now my eyes are gonna be all watery. Some dude in the last video asked me why I sound like I'm crying. I've never heard that criticism before in my life, but that's all right. I think that's how Bellator has decided to like market their women's MMA divisions now, dude, because if you watch their weigh-ins, dude, they've got way hotter chicks than the UFC, and they all come out there in fucking bikinis, and I'm like, God damn, dude. This is the only reason I want to watch Bellator, because ONE FC is better than Bellator, and so is PFL. Jessica Andrade versus Aaron Blanchfield. Dude, I mean, come on. Are you going to pick against Jessica Andrade against any girl who's not Valentina Shevchenko or some shit? Like, Aaron Blanchfield's good. She's good and all. She's a very good wrestler. But if we're being fair, Molly McCann has no grappling abilities. And not only that, Molly McCann's striking isn't that good. I know she's got those 2 elbow KOs, those spinning elbow KOs or whatever, but she's not a polished striker by any means. She basically just, fucking she just goes forward like a fucking berserker, I guess, screaming. And this has nothing to do with anything because she's not fighting, but Molly McCann wins fights that she shouldn't have, which is annoying because she screams at her opponent. So, that is what it is. But I picked Aaron Blanchfield to beat Molly McCann because I thought Molly McCann was garbage. I don't think Jessica Andrade is garbage. There's a difference between Jessica Andrade and the rest of most of women's MMA. Like, there's like a couple of them, dude. There's Amanda Nunes, who throws punches like a man. Valentina Shevchenko has good technique on her punches, but they're not hard like a man. Like, she doesn't KO chicks with her hands unless she gets them in crucifix or whatever, and but those are more elbow attacks. But her head kicks are perfect, obviously. Like, we've seen Jessica dead with that head kick. Jessica Andrade hits like a dude. Like, that's the only way to say it. And that's not sexist. She hits like a fucking dude. You don't ever see girls send other girls flying with punches like Jessica Andrade does. And I don't think that Aaron Blanchfield's wrestling is going to be able to negate like the size, power, fucking all of it of Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade is probably just going to rush her. And I mean, we'll know pretty early on because I'd imagine a clinch engagement happens relatively quickly, right? And then we'll be able to see whether or not Blanchfield's wrestling will be able to get it done against Andrade. But those are low odds for me. I mean, much like the way I'm not going to pick Hernandez unless he gives me a reason to. I'm not going to pick against Andrade as of late unless she gives me a reason to, and she has given me no reason to. But that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Sorry for the low energy on this one because I'm not having it. But I'll put out the next video with a little bit more energy. Jalen Turner versus Mateus Gamrot early predictions. So go check that one out after this one. And like and subscribe, please, and thank you. Thank you in advance for your subscription. I greatly appreciate it. Let's keep the ball rolling. And yeah, see you at the next one. Ta-ta.